Hi, I'm Tracy Sofra and welcome to the Women of Wealth podcast, dedicated to helping women achieve financial independence and thrive in every area of her life. You know the feeling when you get that paycheck. Yeah, I'm going to be chatting about this a little bit in this particular podcast. So for a moment, everything feels like it's falling into place. You breathe a little easier. Maybe you treat yourself, pay some bills. And then before you know it, you're left wondering, what the hell happened? Where did it all go? Sound familiar? Yep. Well, you're not alone. I've been there too, even as a financial expert. What changed the game for me wasn't just budgeting harder or cutting out all of my fun. It was being intentional with how I handled my paycheck from the moment that it hit my account. So today, what I want to do is I'm going to break down 7 essential things that you should do as soon as you get paid. And I think this is going to be absolute gold for anyone listening to this. These are habits I personally follow and teach. I'm really, really passionate about this. And these particular steps have helped me stay consistent with saving, investing, and managing bills. And yes, still enjoying life. So let's get right into it. First things first, I want you to pause before you spend anything, okay? Take, time out, as they say. Take a breather. Before you pay a bill or hit that add to cart, which is so easy to do, I want you to pause. This one habit puts you back in the driver's seat. Otherwise, you're just reactive, right? You just worked hard for this paycheck, haven't you? You want to remind yourself about how hard you've worked for it. So don't let it disappear on autopilot spending, because the world we live in really makes that so easy to do, does it not? Give yourself a moment to check in. Yeah? So what does that mean? Review your bank accounts. Make sure the correct amounts are deposited. Confirm your money is in the right accounts. Look ahead at any upcoming bills and due dates. This simple pause is going to help you approach your money from a place of clarity, okay, and not stress or emotion. So it puts you back in the driver's seat. Second thing, I've said this over and over again, pay yourself first. But I'm going to add another word to this. Pay yourself first automatically. Yeah? Let me repeat something I say all the time. Do not wait to save what's left over. As you know, there's never anything left over. You'll never get your turn. And, 20 years later, you'll be wondering what's happened. You must save first, period. This is a not negotiable. This is the foundation of building wealth. There is no other way. And it's something I swear by. And the easiest way to make it stick is to automate it, okay? Set yourself up for success. Life is busy. Don't leave this decision based on your weekly, fortnightly, monthly, whatever your pay cycle is, because 9 times out of 10, you're either going to forget it, or you're going to be a little bit late, or the money's going to get gobbled up and you're going to think, what's just happened here? I've got nothing left for me. So set up an automatic transfer to your savings or investment account. Yeah. Make it happen every pay cycle, right? Every payday, no matter the amount, even $25, that counts. Because what I want you to do is I want you to treat this like a bill to your future self. If you've listened to my previous podcast, you'll know that I have said in the past, raise an invoice for yourself. If you've got to raise an invoice and that makes you take it seriously, then do what you've got to do to make it happen. But, treat it like a bill for your future self, because she is one day going to be there waiting for you, and she ain't going to be happy if you haven't put some money away. Yeah. Over time, this is the habit that we want to strengthen, to build. This habit is going to change your life financially, without a doubt. It's about building consistency. It's not about perfection. And, on the other side of this, when you see this happen over the period of a month or two, and as time progresses on, and you see this money, accumulate, whether that money sits there as a cash cushion or whether it's a holding pattern to support your other investments, you're going to get real possessive about that money, and you're not going to want to spend it on anything else because you're going to feel so proud of the fact that you have achieved this, that you can do this, and you can see the impact it's having on your life. Tip number 3 is cover your essentials and review spending trends. This is another really, really important thing to do. So once you've saved, remember, pay yourself first, take care of your essentials. So whether it's a rent or a mortgage, you got groceries, you got insurances, you got any loan repayments, any childcare, whatever your not negotiables are, but don't stop at paying bills. Look at trends, okay? So are your groceries or dining costs creeping up? Are you going out more often? Are you spending more on the groceries? Did an electricity or gas bill spike this month? Why did it spike? Is your phone plan still competitive? It keeps you on top of things. You're not just paying bills without being conscious of what is going on. So make sure you're checking for those trends. And this check-in, what it does is it helps you spot small leaks before they become floods, okay? So you're basically going to nip things in the bud as you go, but it requires your full attention to your financial life. So reviewing trends lets you make informed decisions, obviously, and it reroutes the funds towards what matters most. Never lose sight of the big picture, never lose sight of the end game, and never lose sight of the most important person in this equation, which is you, the end game, what matters most. Tip number 4, tune up your budget, right? So after reviewing your spending patterns, it's time to adjust your budget, not just stick to the old one out of habit. I talk about this all the time. Setting up a budget allows you to get clarity on what's coming in and what's going out, allows you to make informed decisions about what's going out, allows you to understand what the cash flow excess is so you can then allocate that to whatever investments you want to assign that to, whether it's super, whether it's non-super investing, whether it's debt reduction, whatever it may be. And what's really important about updating your budget, not sticking to the old one, is that it is a living, breathing document that requires your attention at least in the early days, on a weekly basis, at least a monthly basis. Because if you get a pay rise and you don't check that into your budget, you'll just gobble it up. It'll just get spent. I mean, we're all the same. We're all human. Extra bills, extra additions to subscriptions and all that sort of stuff creep in. If we're not all over it, we're not able to be on the front foot and take advantage of making decisions at the time that we need to be making them before it all gets out of control. So it helps you stay on the ball with your finances. Reflect on any new goals. So coming back to not just sticking to the old budget out of habit, reflect on any new goals, events, or changes in income, as I've just mentioned, and check your progress towards debt repayment, savings, or investment targets. Once you've set those goals, check in with yourself, check in how far you've gone. And think about your budget, as I said, as a living, breathing document, because it absolutely is. Everything lives and dies with the budget. Hands down, there is nothing else I can say that will override that comment. It means that the budget is meant to be reviewed and refreshed regularly all the time. Keep all over it. And it's not nerdy and it's not boring. It's actually empowering, and it's actually gives you that sense of confidence that you know you're in control and it's not in control of you. Staying flexible helps you stay in control. Tip number 5, put money towards your future goals, obviously. So every paycheck is a chance to move one step closer to the future you that you want, right? So use part of it to grow your emergency fund, contribute to your super, invest. Yes, even if it's just a small amount, invest. The word invest itself conjures up a notion of, and I've heard this multiple times, it conjures up things like you need a lot of money to invest. People that are rich invest. Mum and dads and everyday battlers don't invest. Nothing could be further from the truth. You can invest as small as 10, 20, whatever dollars a week. The key is to start. And yes, you can invest with small amounts. Don't believe the rhetoric. These small amounts, these consistent steps, they compound over time. And even if you're starting with as little as $20 a month, the habit you're forming is powerful. It's about habit, small amounts over a long period of time, the power of compound, and that building that habit is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. Tip number 6, do a mindset check-in. Mindset is powerful. Money is emotional. Money is driven by mindset. Mindset is set. Mindset is set. There's a word. Your mindset around money is really solidified in, your formative years when you're at home with mum and dad. So we talk about in our flagship program, the Empower program, we spend a whole module on your money mindset and how the beliefs and the behaviors and how you interact with money and where it comes from and having the ability to unearth that so that you can now make more informed decisions instead of reacting based on past experiences and what you were led to believe and how you manage money at home with mum and dad, because money's a skill not taught. We just take it on board and we put it into our adult life and away we go. That's just what happens unless there's a circuit breaker, such as doing the Empower program and understanding what your money mindset is and how you have the power to change that from this point on. Money is emotional, as I said, and it's easy to overlook that. So for me, I schedule 15 to 30 minutes mindset time, check in every single time I get paid. Yes, I'm a financial expert. Yes, I still do it. I like to see that everything's gone in the right account. I like to see that everything is taken care of. I love to see my cash cushion. I love to see my investments. I love to see that everything that I'm planning and everything that I'm doing, I even produce flow charts on a Word document to see the flow of funds and what is actually happening. But here's what I ask myself. So I do check and I check as a money mindset, 15, probably not 30, maybe 15 at this stage for myself. Doesn't matter how long it takes. But here's what I ask myself. That's a really big mouthful. What went well this month? Okay. What are the things that I did really well with? What challenges came up for me this month? Did anything come out of the blue? Did my daughter have to have her wisdom teeth taken out and the private health didn't cover it all? Did I have to dip into savings? What are some of the things that have happened? Where did I spend impulsively? Did I? And why did I do that? And again, if you scratch the surface of that one, it will highly likely go back to your money mindset and some of the emotional triggers that are still there at play, affecting your ability to make decisions and impulse buying. But a lot of that is centered around emotion. Then what I do is I make sure also that I do celebrate my wins, big or small, it doesn't matter. I make sure that I acknowledge that. Acknowledgement is a really important thing, and not undervaluing the things that you're doing along the way. This day and age, we sort of tend to undervalue a lot of things that we do, particularly as women. We're sort of like, oh, that's just, and it's this constant underplaying of our ability to be able to, progress through challenges, to make good decisions, to actually come out the other end feeling quite stoked and proud of ourselves. And then we underplay that. And then, we kind of, it's a female thing, I'm guessing. Don't underplay it, acknowledge it acknowledge it, bring it to light, give yourself a pat on the back, make sure to celebrate ever so small ones as well. Things like if you've avoided impulse buying purchases, if you've been able to cook more at home, whatever is the thing that you seem to be doing more of, pat yourself on the back that you avoided all of these impulses that came up, that you unsubscribed to all of these shopping websites that keep hitting your inbox and, making it harder for you not to impulse buy. Financial growth is all about, totally includes self-awareness. Self-awareness, your behavior around money, and being all over that and saying, oh, I nearly did press that, put to the cart. But every time you think about, and we all have it, I love shoes and I love certain items of clothing, and much like most women, I'm guessing. And every time I look at that and I think of my goals and I think, well, that could go, instead of me buying that, and sure, I can buy that, but what about if I just pop that money into as an additional top up to my share portfolio or my cash cushion, or even, my superannuation, or whatever, more debt reduction? What if I did that instead of buying that particular item? What would that look like? So self-awareness is key. And this habit, I've got to tell you, has helped me shift from feeling reactive with money to feeling in control. No one wants to feel reactive with their money. Reactive means you're out of control. You don't know what's going on. You got your head in the sand, and at some point it's all going to blow up. And there's nothing more disempowering than that. Tip number 6, final tip here, set boundaries before you spend. And you can. We set boundaries around ourselves with negative people and all sorts of other things that we're told to set boundaries around. Well, before you start swiping your cart or browsing online, decide on your financial boundaries. Yeah? Create a fun money allowance. Yes, it's okay to enjoy your money. I didn't say you have to save every cent. In our Empower program, part of our cash flow framework, which is, I've renamed it cash flow because if you've all listened to me enough times, I don't like the word budget, but we have what we call the automatic cash flow framework, and it has a fun bucket in there, because while there is life, you must live it, but not at the expense of your future self. So, it's a juggling game. You've got to live life while you have it now and enjoy it, but not at the expense of your future self. So you've got to put away for the future at the same time, and you've got to be all over that all of the time, is pretty much what I'm sort of saying. So yes, you can enjoy your money, and it's okay to enjoy your money and have a fun bucket. So also, when setting up boundaries, make a note of any upcoming events or birthdays or holidays, travel, and budget accordingly, okay? Decide what's worth spending on this month and what you can wait for, okay? Does it have to be now is the question. You might want it now, but does it have to be now is the question. And this is going to help you prevent impulse spending and ensures that your money goes where it matters most to you. Why does this system work? Let me just share that with you. When you approach your paycheck with intention, okay, intention, so pausing, planning, and prioritizing, you're no longer letting your money run the show. You're in charge. You're running the show, and that's exactly what we want, right? You don't have to get everything perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. You just have to start. I've said this multiple times. Begin with one of these 7 habits and build from there. You don't have to do all of these at once either. Real change happens one smart money move at a time. And my final thoughts, it's really not about being perfect with money. Getting paid is more than just a relief. It's an opportunity. Have a look at it as an opportunity of what is possible with this paycheck, an opportunity to now gain control back over your money and break that cycle, if you are in the cycle of living from paycheck to paycheck, and to actually be able to prioritize your goals and to build the life you really want, one intentional step at a time. You don't have to be perfect with your money. You just have to start. So next time your paycheck hits your account, take a deep breath, follow these 7 steps, and make your money work for you. Remember, if you do need support to get started, as you may feel overwhelmed, you don't know where to start, you don't know who to talk to, you don't know who to trust, then make sure to book a call with one of our strategists. We are here to help you navigate making decisions that align with your long-term goals and to protect you financially. All you have to do is go to wowwomen.com.au, click on the link to our programs, and best of all, this strategy call is free. So there's no obligation on your part, only everything to gain. If you found this particular podcast helpful, please make sure that you tune in to any one of the platforms, leave us a review, and enjoy every single podcast that we have coming up.